welcome everybody to the annual Chamber of Commerce dinner. And I want to introduce Mr. Scott Zimmerman, our president. Scott, come on up.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. And welcome to our Great Neck Chamber of Commerce annual awards dinner. We're very happy to honor tonight with our Crystal Award, Richard Stancotti. For our Lifetime Achievement Award, we're very happy to honor Valerie Link. Our Robert E. Friedman Retailer Awards, we're very happy to honor Yanni Kapatasis from Yanni's Furs. I hope I got it right. And we'd also like to honor Adrian Benitez from Metro Floral Decorators for our Retailer Award. And our 2016 Business Person of the Year, Mr. Stephen Blank from Blank Slate Media. Our honorees have been selected tonight because they are leaders in our community. Each one of them has provided special recognition. They've provided services to our community. They have exemplified strong leadership, and they try to put the great into Great Neck. So all of our honorees tonight, I want to say thank you for all you've done for our community. Without you, Great Neck wouldn't be the place it is today. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart, after serving this board for almost 7 years, as honorees, you exemplify leadership, which is something I strive for all the time to put back into the community. So thank you. And I would like to say tonight, for my 6 years of serving the community, I want to thank all of you for standing by my side. And it is an honor to serve as president. And hopefully I can continue to keep striving every day to bring great things to the community. And the board I serve, I want to say thank you for supporting me in everything I've done. And with our next honoree, I would like to invite up Elliot to introduce Richard Stancotti.
Before I speak about Richard, I'd like to recognize the elected officials that are here this evening. Gene Sellender, Mayor of the Village of Great Neck Plaza. Ted Rosen, the Deputy Mayor of the Village of Great Neck Plaza. Jerry Schneiderman, Trustee, the Village of Great Neck Plaza. Pam Markscheid, Trustee, the Village of Great Neck Plaza. Hushang Namatzadeh, Trustee, Village of Kings Point. And Alan Mindell, Trustee, the Village of Lake Success. The Crystal Award. The Crystal Award is the highest honor the Chamber can bestow upon an individual. It is presented to someone who has spent the majority of their life in Great Neck as a resident, as one who has raised a family here, as one who has earned a living here, and as one who has made a significant contribution to the growth and betterment of the Great Neck community. The Kitchen Restaurant, located on Middle Neck Road in the Village of Great Neck, was an institution in Great Neck, owned and run by Richard and Lolly Stancotti. The Officers Club, Melville Hall, at the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, where Richard was the manager of the club and where Lolly continued with her culinary expertise, was the site of many celebrations, including chamber membership breakfasts, Giraffe Award breakfasts, annual award dinners, and the incomparable Taste of Great Neck. And during this time, Richard was chairman of the board of the Great Neck Village Business Association, host of a cable show on PATV in Great Neck, Business to Business and Beyond, and managed the Village of Great Neck's Crafts Fair for more than 20 years. Richard was named Friend of Education by the Great Neck Teachers Association. served on the board of the Great Neck United Community Fund and the planning board of the Village of Great Neck. Richard has been named Business Person of the Year by the Chamber, was awarded the Giraffe Award, the Jesse Markell Award, and the Chamber's Lifetime Achievement Award. Richard, as well as Lally, are honorary alumni of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. A great way to sum up how Richard conducted his business and life in Great Neck is the following, written by a bride after their wedding reception at the Officers Club. Mr. Stancotti is an angel. He has years of experience and it shows. When you first meet him, he may seem a little rough and busy. He is focused on the now, and he knows that when your day comes, he will make your day perfect. Meanwhile, it is someone else's day, and you are another bride who doesn't realize that Mr. Stancotti is all about perfection. My advice, listen to him. He will recommend what you would want. He knows people. He can tell your taste. He gives you solutions, not problems. When the day came, it was perfect. His servers were always attending the guests. The bar was pouring drinks like there was no tomorrow. And the cocktail hour and dinner were perfection. Mr. Stancotti perfectly orchestrated the night. The Chamber is proud to present the Crystal Award to Richard Stancotti.
Oh, boy. Well, Elliot said everything that I was going to say, so I want to thank Elliot and thank the nominating committee for honoring me and my colleagues, Valerie and Yanni and Adrian, and of course, Stephen Blank. You know, I was so excited when I heard he was getting the Crystal Award. I thought maybe Billy Crystal would be here. Seriously, though, this is a great honor, especially since only one other person in Chamber history, Elliot Rosenblatt, has received this award. I'm very honored, Elliot, to be in your company. Okay, I'd like to promise not to bore you with my memory lane tales, but I have more years behind me than in front of me. That doesn't mean I know Alexander Hamilton, but I do wish I could wrap my tale and keep you interested. Since I can't, you're not off the hook. You'll have to listen to me anyway, so here goes. As Elliot mentioned, our first business location in Great Neck was at 705 Middle Neck Road in the Old Village. That he missed. It was Eastern Queens Cleaning at that address. Just a few blocks from the home we had purchased 4 years earlier in 1969. Great Neck was then and is now a wonderful place to raise a family, do business, and enjoy your golden years. A business lifetime, like a personal one, is filled with the ebbs and flows, startups and close downs, transitions and detours, sheer joy and utter panic, laughter and tears. Always putting one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. Over the last 34 years, the Great Neck community has been very kind to us. There's been Eastern Queens Cleaning Corp., the Kitchen Restaurant, and finally, our time at Melville Hall, the Merchant Marine Academy in Kings Point. Sharing it all, there's been my wife, my business partner, Lally, and my children. It's been quite a journey. Fortunately, the restaurant saying it's the only business where you can eat your mistakes holds true. But it's also true that you have a really great time making people happy, feeding them, and being part of their celebrations. I remember in the 21 years that I was there, when the bride would come in and do the first dance, a lot of times they would come up to me and ask me to join them on the dance floor. And Only once in the 21 years I did that. And not only shocked everyone, but my whole staff came out to see me dance. Maybe they thought I was lame and I only could move one leg. You know, of course, there's that extra perk of rubbing shoulders at the Academy, like celebrities like Walter Cronkite, Francis Ford Coppola, Senator John McCain, Hillary Clinton, Colin Powell, and two of my favorites, Mark Kelly, astronaut, and his wife Gabby Gifford, and so many, many more. The best part of it all, though, was the midshipmen, with their graduations, weddings, and family gatherings. These young people are truly the heart and soul of the Academy. Their energy and spirit is in every corner of the place. That's probably why so many of you enjoyed coming to Melville Hall for your community functions. And of course, the ever-popular Wednesday lunch. Don't forget that one. I've also enjoyed hosting many of you at Chamber events, as Elliot said, as the Taste of Great Neck, the Chamber Awards dinners. But I must admit, it's nice to be a guest and not the caterer, so I won't be around to take your dessert order tonight. In conclusion, thank God. It's been an honor to be a member and serve as a director of the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce for over a quarter of a century. It inspires me to see now the same excitement, energy, diversity, leadership to accept ideas and challenges that make the Chamber so special. Keep up the good fight, and thank you all truly for coming here tonight. And as we say at the Academy, may you have fair winds and following seas. Thank you. All right, you thought you had enough of me, but I'm back again. Well, I didn't go far. All right, here's the big one now. This is the one for real. Tonight I'll be presenting the Lifetime Achievement Award to my dear friend and longtime colleague, Valerie Link. Valerie first burst into our lives in the 1980s. It was an exciting and challenging time, and revisiting that memory gave me a window onto what, for me, defines Valerie's energy, her generosity of spirit, and inquiring mind. At that time, we were transitioning our business from an informal cafe to a full-blown restaurant, and the annual Great Neck Village Crafts Fair was around the corner. The pressure was on. Val was a sales rep for a weekly Great Neck publication. Her opening statement when she visited us at the kitchen, "You've got to advertise." Simply, it sounds simple, you might say, but no. Then came the generosity of time and expertise, the personal service, the working hand in hand with us to formulate the right ads, the right graphics, the right words, and of course, the right price. That's Val. She's come a long way from those early days. A successful business career as an account executive for Anton Publications for over 29 years, along with a lifetime of achievements. These have come to Val because she's an extraordinary person with a seemingly unending source of energy and drive that she brings to every project in her path. Just when she came into the room, she looked around, she said, "No, that table should be here, and this table over here, and move that one in the back." So that's Val. Her loyal dedication and membership led her to serving as president, first in the Great Neck Village Business Association, and then in the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce. You know, we always enjoyed the crafts fair. Val brought us luck. It only rained once in over 30 years. She arrived at 6 a.m. with a container of hot coffee and stayed the end when the 20,000 visitors had left. It was Val who came up with the idea of a defined area for the food vendors, long before they had them in all the malls. That's Val. She knows how to do it, and by doing it, I mean paying a personal visit to all the businesses along Middle Neck Road's corridor, the Cutter Mill Road corridor, the Great Neck Road corridor, and so on. I'm talking about real FaceTime here and not the digital one. That's Val. Her intimate knowledge of individual businesses and the Great Neck business community is second to none and translated into a priceless asset for the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce. So much of an asset, in fact, that her presidency lasted 3 terms, a record. She soared in her ability to increase chamber membership. She focused on Great Neck Chamber of Commerce's sponsored activities and ribbon cuttings, card exchanges, the Taste of Great Neck, consistently strengthening the membership roles and supplying much needed in-depth support to new businesses. I'm tired just reading this. I'm out of breath. In recent years, I've worked the closest with Val on the Taste of Great Neck, and somehow I really missed that activity at the Academy. I truly do. And I can personally attest to the fact that without her business contacts and drive, it would never have happened. That's Val. She directed her determination to revitalize the business district and attract new tenants to vacant stores by initiating a Clean Up Great Neck campaign. County officials and Great Neck dignitaries, along with chamber members, kicked off the campaign by sweeping out empty stores, washing storefront windows, and sweeping sidewalks. You really should have been there to see that one. There's so much more to say, but so little time to say it. So at this time, it is my great honor to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to my dear friend and longtime colleague, Valerie Link.
Oh, I gotta get my glasses on. Okay. You're on your own.
Thank you, Richard. It's going to be very hard to top that. I wrote something very short and sweet because I know you're all anxious to get on with your evening. So I just want to say, good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be standing here to be receiving this most prestigious award. Living and working in Great Neck for over 25 plus years, I have been a member of the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce for almost 20 of those. Working my way up from a board member to an officer to then president. Great Neck was always my passion. I involved myself in as many projects as I could. I worked with all the village officials, and I even worked with town officials to make Great Neck a prosperous to live, work, and shop. I want to thank everyone who supported me through my journey, Elliot, Richard, Scott, and others too many to mention, and especially my family who put up with me when times were very trying and I was consumed with nothing else. I set up numerous ribbon cuttings and I never missed one. In order to promote cleanliness, as Richard mentioned, I bought t-shirts for everybody. We went in front of some of the stores in Great Neck, took brooms, and we swept and cleaned up the sidewalks in front of these vacant stores. Now I am entering a new chapter in my life. As one door closes, another one opens. And as Bob's Hope would say, thanks for the memories.
Thank you so much, Valerie and Richard. It's been a pleasure to work so closely with both of you. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce our next award recipient of the Robert E. Friedman Retail Award. This award only goes to a company that exemplifies excellence in one of the most difficult tasks of modern business, retail. Local businesses are important and vital to the growth and innovation of all communities. We at the Great Neck Chamber applaud these achievements. Today, more than ever, our local business faces challenges in an increasingly competitive and ever-changing modern environment. To succeed, you must have a passion for what you do, and you must have exceptional customer service. When a local business prevails for 18 years, you know they must have both. Yanni's Furs is a great neck destination and has truly become known to our community and beyond. Since 1999, Yanni's Furs has provided a unique line of furs and leathers along with on-premise repairs, remodels, cleaning, and of course, storage. Yanni's Furs provides luxurious product that is a fashion component. When I look back at my grandmother's minks and furs, you can still wear these classic items today. Though today, many people do not wear furs on special occasions, they can be worn sporty and wearable on a daily basis. It takes a visionary to keep the fashion of furs relevant and new. Yanni and his son Nicholas work one-on-one with each client before and after the purchase to customize and tailor your fur of choice. Being fourth generation expert furriers, they know it not only is what you purchase, but the overall experience. On behalf of the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce, I am pleased to present the Robert E. Friedman Retailer Award to just Yanni of Yanni's Furs.
Good evening, everybody. Oh boy, a little nervous, but I'll do the best and go with the flow, okay? I want to thank the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce, my fellow business owners, friends and family that are here tonight for the honor of this retail award. Especially my son Nicholas, who will continue with Yanni's Furs for many more decades to come. I also would like to thank my fabulous sales lady, Patricia, who helped make Yanni's Furs what it is today. Yeah, come on, let's get Nicholas and Patricia, stand up, come on. Nick, that's it. That's right, Valerie, we have you for many years. Now, I don't know how to say this, but it's gonna be a little bit on the other side, okay? I love Great Neck. But unfortunately, we all know about the empty stores. I'm trying to be more realistic, okay? That are in Great Neck. It's called progress in the internet. Fortunately for us, a large part of our service business, where we have established a solid following that is helping our business prosper more and more every year because we do a lot of servicing. Sadness to say though, the traffic we once knew is gone. It's almost finished. Now, hopefully, and soon, the landlords in our area will realize that this is not the 90s, and these conditions will only get worse. And I want Great Neck to prosper for everybody. As difficult as it is, the landlords need to make rents more reasonable, so the realtors will be able to make a living. If we don't start to see these changes soon, our situation, like many other areas, are going to get worse. You don't have to believe me, but it's going to happen. It's called the internet. Amazon has 58% of retail already. I love the restaurants, I love the service areas, but we can't have all of Great Neck being restaurants. Working 1 day a week Saturday, and let's see how long they're gonna stay in business. It just doesn't work that way. Okay, we have a very big problem today. Anyway, I don't wanna bore you. In conclusion, I took enough of your time. We at Yanni's Furs would like to thank you for this award. Now let's move on and enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you. Sorry for being a little pessimistic, but I'm telling you what other business owners are talking to me about.
Thank you, Jashyani. I'd like to introduce Bradley Diamond, who is going to introduce the next Robert E. Friedman Award.
Well, let me just say, as a real estate broker, it's really just important, and all kidding aside, it's just important that we support our town, whatever stores open up, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a nail salon, whether, you know, it is a clothing store. It's very, very important that you support our towns, and we always talk about it, and I think all of the trustees here from all the various villages do an excellent job to try and promote business in Great Neck. And I just beg you, because not that I live here anymore, but as a previous resident and someone who still works in Great Neck and absolutely is in love with this town, it's important that we support our retail environment and our retail community. So Yanni, I applaud you for what you said, and I agree. It may not be the landlord's fault. Don't blame them, Peter. It's okay. We still like you. Don't worry. But the taxes are very high in the state. We could go and talk about that at another time. But Yanni, I agree. We need to support our town as best as we can. So please shop in Great Neck. Thank you. Now I'm going to talk about not only a customer of mine, but also a friend of mine. Born and raised in El Salvador, Adrian Benitez arrived in the United States at the age of 15. He began working in landscaping, garden design, where he found his passion and creativity to pursue floral design. He started working as an assistant designer at Queens Garden Center located in Whitestone. And within 3 years of working and training in floral design, Adrian's talent and skills were not overlooked. His boss promoted Adrian to the manager at their second location opening in Great Neck. Adrian then managed this flower shop successfully for 5 years. While managing the shop in Great Neck, Adrian became very well known in the community and connected with its growing ethnic diversity. Passionate about his art, Adrian was ready to embark on his dream to open his own business. He soon sought running a business, Metro Floral Decorators, with his partner Jose, who's here tonight too. And the move was a natural fit given his relationship in the community and most of their clients residing in the Great Neck area. Grateful for a welcoming and amazing community, Metro Floral Decorators has shown their support throughout the years by giving back. Adrian and Jose have supported and donated to many community events such as the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce, local synagogue events, school and charity events, such as Larger Than Life Foundation that helps ill children with cancer and their families cope with their fear and treatments. Personally, when my that's Freudian slip, my wife was honored by the Kokavim chapter of Hadassah, Adrian donated all of the centerpieces for that. With little free time running a 7-day-a-week business, Adrian still finds time to play soccer, although I hear not so good, and raise 5 beautiful children with his gorgeous wife, Rosa, who's now videotaping me. Hey, Rosa. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce the recipient of the Robert E. Friedman Retail Award to my friend, mi amigo, Adrian Benitez. Put the big guy in the middle. Yeah, actually, you hold. No, you go in the middle. What am I looking at? There you go. Okay, you're on, buddy.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate this so much. I'd like to thank Great Neck, everyone for all the support through these years. I came to Great Neck when I was literally 19 years old, and since then I love the community. I love the support. And throughout these years that we've been in Great Neck, I cannot be thankful and say thank you so much for all your support. And God willing, yes, we're moving to a next location, which is gonna be much better as far as serving better to the community, parking, easy access, and of course, delivering the right product and continue serving the right way. I'd like to thank everyone throughout these years and continue supporting. And thank you. I just don't know what else to say, but thank you.
Corinne has put a tremendous amount of work into the awards dinner, and you can see that many people have come to this, and it's a great event every year. I enjoy all the people that come out to see us.
One announcement that I do have to make is that we do have a 50-50 raffle. There's no grand prizes this year, but the grand prize is 50% of the cash that we collect from the raffle prizes. I think there's thousands of dollars at stake here, so you might want to take a chance. There's only 80 people in the room, so you have a good chance of winning a tremendous amount of money. So at this time, I think I'm to announce Hu Shang to come up, and he's going to present the next award. Hu Shang is our past president.
I'd like to applaud the nominating committee for doing a fantastic job selecting Steve Blank for Businessman of the Year. Publishing a community paper, I think it takes a lot of courage, Steve, and guts. I know your front page, every time I look at every week, I hold my breath with all the controversies going on the first page. And I'd like to also congratulate all the honorees. Again, Richard, Valerie, Yanni, and Adrian. Adrian, my 3 daughters, he did all the arrangements for their weddings. I appreciate that. And my grandson's bar mitzvah. Really. Good. Now, I think nominating committee did an excellent job this year. And for Businessman of the Year, Steve Blank is the editor and publisher of Blank State Media, an award-winning chain of 6 newspapers, including the Great Neck News, as well as the islandnow.com website. Steve worked for 10 years as daily newspaper editor and reporter for Daily Record of Morristown, New Jersey, the Post Standards of Syracuse, and Kansas City Star. Blank then moved to the retail business, Save Mart, where he served as marketing director and operation manager of then 32-store consumer electronics chain. Blank produced 2 newspapers, the Bayside Times and Little Neck Ledger, in July 1989, and grew the company to 16 newspapers. In October 2006, Blank sold the newspaper group to News Corp. Blank is the past president of New York Press Association and current board member. He currently serves on the boards of Gold Coast Arts Center, the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce, the Greater New Hyde Park Chamber of Commerce, and Roslyn Chamber of Commerce. You have conflict of, Okay. He lives in Roslyn with his wife, Holly. They have 2 children, Joshua and Rachel. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming and honoring Businessman of the Year, Steve Blank. Steve, on behalf of Great Neck Chamber of Commerce, we'll present you with this award. Businessman of the Year.
Thank you, Hussein. Thank you very much. I was thinking about tweeting my acceptance speech, but recent events had led me to rethink my decision. So instead, I'm going to read some brief remarks. Let me begin by offering my thanks to the Chamber for naming me Business Person of the Year. It is truly a great honor coming from my peers in the Great Neck business community. This is especially true at a time when both businesses and business districts face great challenges in responding to the rapid changes brought about by the internet and other new technology, beginning with the impact on many traditional brick and mortar stores. In Great Neck, those changes are magnified by demographic changes that have altered when, where, and what customers buy. And if that's not enough, we do business in Great Neck, a place governed by 9 villages, all with their own village of how to work with local businesses. Add to that a school district, a library district, park district, and a variety of special districts, as well as unincorporated areas overseen by the town of North Hempstead, and you see the need for help is there. The Great Neck Chamber hosts events that bring businesses and customers together, but more importantly, the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce is also the only organization that advocates for all of Great Neck's businesses. As we know, there are no guarantees for businesses or business districts, especially in times of change like today. So what is done by the Chamber and others does matter, and I'm proud to be part of that effort. As the owner of 6 weekly newspapers and a website, I also have a particularly good view of the changes that are taking place at North Shore businesses, including my own. And I think my experience offers some lessons to other businesses. My story actually began as a young reporter inspired by the Watergate revelations that would bring down a president. Interestingly enough, at our table, we have Rabbi Whittam from Temple Emmanuel, and the temple is going to be hosting Carl Bernstein on October 22nd with Michael Steele, the former chair of the RNC, so I'm a big fanboy, so you'll know where to see me on October 22nd. As Hushang mentioned, I would work for 10 years as a daily newspaper reporter and editor, and then decide to open my own businesses, buying 2 weekly newspapers in Queens. My decision was based on an old-fashioned idea that good journalism would be good business. I would offer comprehensive coverage of the things that matter most to people, where they own a home, where their kids go to school, and where they're going out tomorrow night, by having a separate newspaper for each community. And we would do it well, holding ourselves to daily newspaper standards. I would also seek to make our newspapers a community forum, giving our readers abundant space to express their views and opinions. And I might say that the residents of Great Neck certainly take advantage of that in our papers. This combination allowed us to grow our circulation, which in turn allowed us to offer a cost-effective way for businesses to advertise and for me to pay my bills. Using that formula, I grew my company from 2 to 16 newspapers and then sold them to News Corp and Rupert Murdoch in 2008. 2 years later, after my employment contract expired and I learned that being editor and publisher of a newspaper that I own is different than being editor and publisher of a paper that Rupert Murdoch owns. And I decided to start all over in Nassau County. During this time, the newspaper landscape had changed dramatically as first cable television and then the internet and social media grabbed large chunks of daily newspaper revenue and readership. So some people, okay, most people, thought I was slightly out of my mind to open up another newspaper group in 2010. But I was convinced that an old-fashioned idea of professional coverage of local communities, married to the latest technology, would still have a strong appeal to readers and advertisers. You can call it Newspaper Group 2.0. I call it Blank Slate Media. It has been gratifying to see a response that has allowed us to grow from 3 papers to 6 in the last 4 years, expand our circulation, develop a strong web presence, and increase our revenue while winning dozens of newspaper awards. Coincidentally, or not so coincidentally, we see many readers across the country now returning to daily newspapers and other print products that inspired me in my youth, attracted by their coverage of the Trump campaign and the Trump administration, and put off by the fake news, so that's quote marks, so widely disseminated on the internet and social media. Trust, another old-fashioned word, has seen a comeback. In addition to the Great Neck Chamber and President Trump, the subject of many of our letter writers, I would also like to thank a great staff that makes all that we do possible. This includes our Great Neck Account Executive, Melissa Spitalnik, who is here tonight with her husband, Arthur, on the occasion of her birthday. Happy birthday. As well as our very excellent office manager, Holly, who is also my wife, along with her mother, Gloria, who instructs me daily before I leave to make lots of money. My thanks to you and them for the award. Thank you.
We're going to do the proclamations and the citations. Each of the 5 honorees will be receiving from Tom DiNapoli, the New York State Comptroller, a citation. From Anthony Durso, our Assemblyman, a citation. From our New York State Senator, Elaine Phillips, a proclamation. From our Nassau County Legislator, Ellen Birnbaum, a citation. From the town of North Hempstead, a proclamation hand signed by everyone in the town. Look at that. A proclamation from the village of Great Neck Plaza. And a citation from Ed Mangano, our county executive.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have the drawing now. So everybody please take out your tickets. And I'm going to give you to Anthony Carbone, past president, and my very good friend, who's going to pick my number. Just kidding. He's probably going to pick Elliot's number. Elliot, did you buy any tickets? Where's Elliot? Elliot is the luckiest man alive. He always wins. If you win tonight, Elliot, I'm really done. Okay, everybody, take out your tickets. Get ready.
Okay, tonight we have gathered in funds $910. Of the $910, $455 will go to the Stepping Stone Lighthouse Saving Committee. The other half will go to the grand winner, which we are going to pick right now. Round and round she goes, where she stops, nobody knows.
Ticket number 705781. Mrs. Rosen?
Laura Rosen is the grand prize winner of our 50-50 raffle. Let's give her a big applause. Don't forget to come to our networking events that we have once a month. We try to move them around to the different restaurants within the Great Neck Peninsula. Also, there's a committee that sells bricks, so when you walk past the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce kiosk, you're able to see your name engraved into a brick. It's the cheapest real estate in Great Neck, I assure you. There's nothing else that you can afford for that price. So that's another great thing that we're doing. And what I'm going to do is present this check to Alice Caston for the Stepping Stone Lighthouse. Is Alice here? On behalf of the Great Neck Chamber of Commerce and our 50-50 raffle,
Our donation to you is $455, and you are welcome.
Thank you everyone for coming tonight. Tonight we would definitely like to recognize our dedicated board of directors of the chamber also as well. I would like to invite up each one of our board of directors to receive their certificates. I would like to start with Peter Andresian. A little bit of applause, thank you. I would like to invite up Mitchell Beckerman. I would like to invite up Mr. Stephen Blank. Mr. Anthony Carbone. I know it's been a long night, everybody, but an applause does help. Thank you. Mayor Gene Sellender from Great Neck Plaza. Roger Chizevra. Roger? Still here? Sorry, you're hiding. Thank you. Miss Corinne Doria, Sedano, Alabama, whatever we're going to change your name to. Thank you. Miss Mindy Greenberg, who asked me to move everything along. Thank you, Mindy. Mr. Leonard Katz. Our treasurer, Mr. Stephen Kokoris, and our photographer for the night. And if you see your picture in People magazine, it's because of Steve, so. Miss Judy Littner. Mr. Phil Races. The person who isn't sharing the raffle prize, Mr. Marvin Rosen. And I would like to thank my lovely assistant, Miss Patricia Schneider. She makes a very great assistant. Mr. Elliot Rosenblatt, our secretary, thank you. Oh wait, we have Patricia Schneider's award here, so I'm going to present it right now. Photo op. Thank you. Mr. Richard Stancati. He gets 2 awards. Thank you. And the one who has to be horizontal, Mr. Stephen Tuckler. Our member at large. I do want to acknowledge the people that couldn't be here tonight. Miss Lee Seaman, Mr. Ralph Ventura, Mr. Dennis Grossman, who was here earlier in the evening, Hushang Nematzadeh, unfortunately had to leave as well. Thank you to them, and thank you to all of you.
And thank you to our president, Scott Zimmerman.
I would like to say thank you for everybody for attending tonight and for all your support for the Great Neck community. Without all of you in the room tonight, Great Neck wouldn't be the great community it is, so thank you. I do want to say thank you to everybody for all their hard work and support for this event tonight. And thank you to all our honorees for all you've done for our community. And we'll see you all again next year. Thank you.